So it's no secret that Pokemon promo cards are some of the coolest artworks and some of the most valuable cards that we've seen over the past 10, 15 years. Some examples of that are the Poncho Pikachus. Some examples of that are the XY promos of the starter Pokemon like Charizard and Blastoise and Venusaur. But where does the Scarlet and Violet promo cards fall into this whole grand scheme of promo cards? Which ones do you want in your collection? And in today's video, I identified 8 cards that you're going to want in your collection, and they're pretty well priced for where they sit at today. So with that said, the first card that we have is the Snorlax number 51. This is a Pokemon Center exclusive, and it goes for roughly about $40 to $50. Some people are getting it at $49, some people at $44. You could see $50, $52, $60. Some people even paid $78 for this card. But look at this card. It's beautiful. There is an artwork of this exact card that is way cheaper. This is the Pokemon Center exclusive. I would prefer to have the Pokemon Center exclusive, at least one of these cards in my collection. And if you really did like the artwork, then you could get the other, more cheaper version. It's cheaper by probably like 80 to 90% off. So it's significant. But to at least have one of these exclusive Pokemon Center cards in your collection would be great. So this is just a beautiful artwork. I love Snorlax as a Pokemon, and the Pidgey on top also. It's just always great having other Pokemon, the Diglett as well. So this is definitely one of the more pricey ones that we're going to be looking at. But let's jump into the next one, which is the Pikachu with gray felt hat. This was a promo. They did something with the with an art museum over in Europe. This was a Pikachu promo card that you could only get out of Europe. It wasn't available to people here in the United States, but the price on it is pretty hefty. This is the most expensive promo card that we're going to look at today, and it goes for about $90. So you can see other prices here, pretty much $90, $94, $90, $90, $90, $97. I wouldn't purchase this over $90. In the past, it was selling for over $90, but recently it's dipped to $90. And it could dip more. You can see the 3-month chart here. It peaked at 100 and now fell back down. It did drop down to $83 per card in the past. It could go that low. It could go down to $70, but I still wouldn't be, uncomfortable picking it up at $90. I think that's a decent price. I would probably only add one of these cards to my collection. And if that, maybe get it PSA graded, or just maybe bite the bullet and buy a PSA 10 or a PSA 9 of this card. It just is a very cool promo card, and give it 5 or 10 years from now, and this card is going to be worth a decent chunk of change. There were a lot of these cards made, so it's not super exclusive, but it's still a beautiful artwork and something that actually, appeals to a greater audience, almost beyond Pokemon. Obviously, it's Pikachu, but the art style is very Van Gogh reminiscent. So the next card we have is the Charmander. This doesn't have a picture of it, but what I mean by the cheaper card of that Snorlax is because the Charmander also has a cheaper version without the Pokemon Center exclusive logo on it. So this is the artwork of the Charmander. So we'll look at this, but this is the price that the Pokemon Center exclusive card is going for. So it started at $18 3 months ago. Before that, it started off at $22, dipped to, like I said, $18. And recently it's been surging. It's been surging up to about $35. And you can see people are purchasing it for $32, $39, $38, $39, $35, $45, $28. So a very, very wide range of prices because it's on this volatile ascend upwards. So we'll see where it settles at. I could see it dipping back down to about $30 per card. I definitely would not purchase this card on this upswing. You do not want to get caught in the volatility of this card. So just look at the card, look how beautiful it is. I absolutely love the oil painting style artwork of this Charmander. Obviously, it's the the first evolution of what would become Charizard. So it's a loved Pokemon. Charmander is very cool. Just a whole very cool scene. Light, bright, outdoorsy, in this nice garden. It's just very cool. So great card to have to your collection, but it's going to cost you a little bit, and you might have to hold off on purchasing it just for now. Next, same thing. Pikachu also has a cheaper version that's not Pokemon Center exclusive. So we'll look at the prices on this first, and we'll look at the artwork. So 3 months ago, it was $16, and 6 months ago, it started off at, $18. There we go. And before that, 1 year ago, it was $28 per card. So the time to pick up this card was kind of March of 2024, just a few months ago. It saw a massive spike upwards of about 30 to 40% over the past couple of months. But let's look at the data for what people are picking this up for. $70, something's up with that. That's definitely out of line. $40, $24, that's lightly played though. $42, $40, $32, yeah. This card's going for about $30 to $40, and it had a big swing upwards, so it looks like it's settled over the past couple weeks, but I would give it more time to kind of figure out where its short-term price is going to settle at. And let's take a look at the artwork. This is just a classic Pikachu artwork with Pikachu and the era starters. So this is the Scarlet and Violet 3 starter Pokemon that you get in the game. And Pikachu is known to, just feature on one of these cards with all the starter Pokemon. So it's a must-have to someone that collects multiple eras and someone that also enjoys Pikachu artworks as well. Next up, we have the Miraidon Pokemon Center exclusive card. This card also has another version that's not Pokemon Center exclusive. All these cards that are Pokemon Center exclusive cards have a variation that is not Pokemon Center exclusive. They have the regular version. But like I keep saying, the Pokemon Center exclusive cards are the ones that are going to appreciate and value way more because they're less in terms of quantity. They're not as common. So let's take a look at 1 year ago on this card. It was about $40 per card, very, very high, and dipped down to about $25 in October of 2023 and bottomed out at $22. So this card is definitely in the pickup zone. You could pick up this card right now comfortably. And it wouldn't be a bad thing if you picked up multiple copies. They're going for about $25 per card, 24, 24, 25, 24, 70. I wouldn't pay attention to that. 25, but for $25, getting one of the base set, featured Pokemon in this beautiful alt art with the Pokemon Center exclusive stamp for $25, not a bad deal. And as you can see on the chart, it is a great time to pick it up. So if you are interested in Miraidon, this is your time to scoop up this card. So let's look at its counterpart, Koraidon. And Koraidon is a little bit cheaper than Miraidon. And this card, you can see the stamp. This card has had a good past 2 months. This card was down at about $13, $14 over the past 3 months. Even before that, $13, $14 a year ago. It was up at $25, and kind of like Miraidon, it saw this big valley, but it definitely jumped up recently. So this is more in line with the Pikachu chart, and Miraidon does not see that appreciation recently. So I'm not sure exactly why that is the case, why Koraidon has definitely went up, maybe because it just was so low at $13, $14 that it had nowhere else to go. It couldn't drop any further. But it's a great artwork. It's not my favorite. It's very simple. It's also simplistic in terms of the art style. And the Pokemon is not my favorite, but for $20, and what, $22, 35, 30, 30, 27, that's lightly played, 21, 30. For $20 to $30 for this card, wherever you get it in that price range, it's not the worst pickup if you're just picking up one, maybe two of these copies. So next up, we have the Pikachu, and this one is exactly like the one that we saw before, but this is the Japanese version, okay? And the reason why this one is cool is because this is the game exclusive. So this is a Japanese exclusive card, and it's celebrating the Pokemon release of the Scarlet and Violet game, which is why you see these stamps below on the bottom left and the bottom right. That's celebrating both versions of the game. And I just think it's very cool to have these extra stamps on it. The other one had the Pokemon Center exclusive stamp on it. So if we're valuing stamps, I think this is a great way to kind of celebrate some other big achievement, which is the games. And it's on the card that is Pikachu. Pikachu is the flagship Pokemon of Pokemon. So it's just a cool pickup. 3 months, it was up at, on the 3-month chart, it was up at $18. Now it's down at $12 per card. So great time to pick it up. 6-month chart, it was up at $19. 1 year ago, this was up at $24. So it could go further, but I wouldn't be afraid of this card at $12. I think it's a beautiful card. I would love to have this in my collection. I will probably be scooping up 1 or 2 of these cards. And it's just very cool. And you could get it graded as well because Japanese cards grade very well. So if you bought a near mint copy and you got it and you liked what you saw, I would not be afraid to grade it, to be honest. And I think that would be a great addition to your collection. And finally, our last card that we're going to be looking at is the Teal Mask Ogerpon. This card is kind of the flagship Pokemon of Twilight Masquerade, and I think the way things are shaping out, Twilight Masquerade is going to turn out to be one of the better sets in Scarlet and Violet, along with Paldea Evolved, but Twilight Masquerade celebrates Ogerpon as a Pokemon. It was his big debut into the Pokemon universe, and this card as an alt art is just a great way to see what the Teal Mask Ogerpon has to offer in terms of art style, because a lot of the artwork in Twilight Masquerade that is Teal Mask Ogerpon is so up close and personal. It kind of features his face more than anything, that you get a full body shot in a nice, looks like a rice paddy field, holding, I forget what Pokemon that is, but holding another Pokemon in, golden hour, sunset. So it's just a very cool card, and it's new. So give it some time to kind of settle out. But if you really, really did like this card, if you really did, it's not at a bad price point. It released in May, late May, $17, and now it's down to $12 per card. I mean, what else could you really hope for? Maybe it drops to like $8-9, but for a couple bucks, are you gonna sit on the sidelines and not pick up this card if you absolutely love it? No, I just wouldn't recommend that. So if you do love that, if you do love the artwork on this card, it's a great range to pick it up. It's not like it's $100 and, it dropping to $90 saves you $10. It's at $12. If it drops, 10%, you're saving like $1 to $2. So great time to pick up this card too. So with that said, that is the 8 promo cards that I would recommend you picking up in the Scarlet and Violet era. So far, we still have the back half of Scarlet and Violet for all of our promo cards to fully release for this era. So we'll see what the other half of Scarlet and Violet has to offer. But these cards are solid and some beautiful artwork. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe, comment below, and I will talk to you later.